What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your boy Phil. I'm here today with Panky and Figs. What up, guys?
What's going on? What's going on?
How's it going?
We didn't record last week, so there's quite a bit to talk about for the past 2 weeks. Let's start off with baseball. They released a starting date for baseball, July 23rd. Another sport will be back. And what do you think about 60 games for the season and then going into the playoffs?
I think it's something that they should have done before, this whole COVID thing broke out. I always felt like, damn near 200 games, it was a little too much, not even for the fans because, fans, they want to see their sport all the time. So fans love it, but you got to think about the guys out there. I mean, I know they make big bucks, but playing double headers, it's a lot. It takes a toll on you, you know what I mean? So yeah. I'm pretty sure the players they're probably ecstatic about it, you know what I mean?
Do you think it'll benefit your New York Yankees?
In a way. I mean, we got less room for error, but we'll see.
Didn't Chapman get tested positive for COVID?
Oh, yeah. He joins the club.
It's funny. Baseball, out of all the major sports, baseball is the most socially distant sport, and you'd think it'd be the easiest to pull off, but because they're so incompetently run, they're the ones I have the least faith of actually getting this done.
Oh yeah, you're not alone. You're definitely not alone.
We had talked about it before. Either they could have shut it down so early and just been like, we're going to save our players and blah blah blah, but also they're like, we're going to air out all of our dirty laundry, and we're just going to make this a bigger issue and have people decide where we should care about millionaires crying or billionaires crying rather than just like getting something done. I mean, I'm glad that they settled on a schedule. My fantasy team will actually get a chance to shine, hopefully. But I'm disappointed that they didn't get any of the playoff changes that were proposed through, like either expanding it or whatever tweaks like that. Would have been cool to see an expanded playoff in a shortened season. That would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, Major League Baseball is the general hospital of the sports world. So, we're definitely – we're going to see something interesting. We're definitely going to see something interesting. That much I can guarantee.
Now, so go ahead, Panky.
I was going to say also for us Toronto fans, the Blue Jays are going to be allowed to play games in Toronto at home, which is nice. We don't have to risk traveling over to wherever in the states that they're going to have these games. So that's something. I know they were considering Buffalo also as an alternative. That's where their AAA team plays, but
I would rather have them play in Buffalo and their AAA team than go back to Dunedin.
No, dear God, yeah. I felt bad for Ryu because he couldn't travel back to Canada when the border shut down. So him and his family are just sitting in a house in Florida where everything else just goes crazy around them, and the team's gone.
Oh, yeah. But thankfully we got, for Toronto Blue Jays fans, everyone is back in here. Everyone's part of the intramural squad. Even the draftees, Austin Martin, was seen on the field. I think, did he bat today or yesterday?
I didn't see the game today. I know Bichette, first pitch home run to start the first inning game.
Yeah. That was good.
I mean, it was great just to see like live sports on this side of the world. So I've been watching like soccer and stuff, but to see the Blue Jays inter team game, Bo and Grichuk.
Yeah.
That was very refreshing to see.
I thought the rosters were fixed, but then learned later on during the game they had a draft pick.
Oh.
Because Bichette's team looked hella stacked compared to Grichuk's team. What was I going to say? Did you guys think that the MLB should have kind of looked into what South Korea or Asian baseball did to keep their season going or restart quickly?
I mean, I do, but then you got to look at the level of competence of the MLB. I don't think it's I don't think it's near South Korea. I mean, like Panky said, it's the most poorly run organizational sport. So it's just like you would love it, but do they have the capacity to do it? I don't know, man.
I mean, should they have? Yes, because it's the same sport. But there's so many things that are out of their control to help the season come back. Aside from just getting out of their own way, the bad timing was they had a labor dispute, but also the fact that in places like Japan and South Korea, they actually listen to medical authority and actually can social distance in crowds in large areas. And if there is any outbreaks or any incidents, they're quick to snub it. And in the United States, that can't have it. They can't have nice things. We can't have nice things. So Florida and Figs knows George has gone a bit nuts as well. But
Yo, Figs, how's that Canadian passport application going?
Man, I got that motherfucker on speed dial right now. Like, it's looking bad. The governor just passed a law. He's trying to sue them for mandating people to wear masks out here, bro. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
And now they're trying to get schools to reopen and not let the science get in the way, the press secretary said. Oh.
It's a whole mess. But get that Canadian passport, and then you can come watch some hockey starting August 1st. Hockey's going to be back, Canada's sport. I know myself and Panky are excited for that. So there's going to be the top 4 from the Eastern Conference and top 4 from the Western Conference. They're just going to be playing round-robin games, while the qualifying teams will face off in a best-of-5 series to kind of figure out the rest of the standings.
Also, the round-robin games for those top 4 teams determine 1 through 4 seeding.
Oh, yes, that is true as well.
So if I was a Boston fan, I'd be livid because Boston ran away with the conference, but now they may, and if they slip up a bit, they might drop a couple spots.
Yeah. Some notable qualifying games in the host provinces, or host cities, sorry. We got Toronto versus Columbus, Chicago versus Edmonton, Pittsburgh versus Montreal, and a good old Canadian classic with the Jets versus the Flames.
That's going to be a bloodbath.
That is going to be an entertaining series to watch.
So let me ask you something real quick. I don't mean to cut you. Are the Jets on the ice better than the Jets on the gridiron? Please say yes.
They have the same amount of titles, but actually that's not true. That's technically so. The Winnipeg hasn't won a Stanley Cup, but overall they're actually like a playoff contender every year.
Oh,
so the answer would be yes.
They don't have the Joe Namath sweet story from like the first Super Bowl, third Super Bowl, whatever, but they've been consistently better than the football Jets.
Oh, so they're actually something that's called Jets that is productive. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
And
even their fans are productive.
And what's awesome with the seasons coming back is that to speed up the process, they're gonna have games back to back to back to back to back. So there's gonna be like 5 games a day, just one after another, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be very, very
from like noon to like 11 o'clock or whatever it is. It's just gonna be it's gonna be amazing.
Sounds like March Madness.
Basically, I think it's like every day for 2 weeks for the best-of-5 series.
Yeah,
and then they just go right into the playoffs, and then I guess they'll properly schedule everything out.
It's a perfect time for if you're trying to convince somebody to like at least watch a hockey game. It's perfect. It's gonna be on all day, and there's nothing else to watch right now. So there's also
man, listen, I think we're gonna have people that never watch sports before watching that shit now after this, because like you said, it's just seeing something live on TV. It's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? After what, a 4-month, 5-month hiatus?
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good hockey too, thankfully, because there's gonna be so much on the line for it. But it's crazy because like the NHL, for Figs and those that aren't familiar with it, the NHL goes out of their way to try to promote it in the United States, obviously. That's their main objective, and sometimes they put Canadian interests aside for a bigger American presence. So the fact that they couldn't find a host city to do it, because originally they wanted one American city and one Canadian city, and it was originally going to be like Vegas, I think maybe Columbus I had heard also from the fact that they do both their cities in Canada, that must have killed them on the inside to finally concede that.
Yeah, I know you guys loving that shit though.
I mean, it's nice. I mean, I feel bad for half the teams that have to go to Edmonton because compared to Toronto, that's a bit of a dump, or a drop, not a dump. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of heat for that. But the fact that it was, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I mean, I'm sure Figs, maybe you'll be desperate enough to actually tune into a game. Who knows? But
oh yeah, I mean, I'm not a complete dunce when it comes to hockey. You know, I was a Rangers fan. You know, I know about Lundqvist and the boys,
and they're in the playoffs, so that's good.
Yeah, so I'll catch some Rangers games, definitely.
I'm thinking because what is it? They announced that the players are going to be being housed in around exhibition place here in Toronto. So I'm thinking.
So when they announced the hotels, so in Toronto, it's they're all the playoff teams are staying at Hotel X, which is near Exhibition. The rest of them are pretty much staying at the Royal York. When I first heard that they were going to be at Hotel X, I thought they hadn't determined what the hotel was going to be. I thought that was just a placeholder name. I only realized a few days ago that that's what the actual hotel is called. It's actually called Hotel X.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, I had to research how the hotel looked like. I'm like, I've never heard of this, and I've lived in.
Okay, I'm not the only one. Thank God. Because that doesn't sound like a hotel. I don't like it. But
as a Maple Leafs fan, I hope Brad Marchand.
Oh God.
Doesn't play or has to forced to be quarantined. That is all.
Yeah, he's gonna lick something and he's gonna get friggin' suspended or something. I don't know. At the very least, they're gonna have better food than the NBA. That's for sure. Those are top-notch hotels that they're at.
You telling me J.R. Smith has a brother that plays hockey? That's what you're telling me?
Oh man,
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a combination of if Lance Stevenson and J.R. Smith had a baby.
Oh shit! Yeah. He needs. You got to quarantine that motherfucker now.
But also, if they were 25% more dirty on the court.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, J.R. Smith and Lance Stevenson in the 90s. That's
because Marchand can score a lot, and he's one of those guys that will start fights but never finish them, or get somebody else to do it, or he'll do cheap shots and stuff like that. And he's one of those players.
Yeah. Got you.
He actually licked a guy in a skirmish, and that's where the joke is coming from, basically.
And last year's playoffs.
Oh my God! What the?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's definitely Lance Stevenson. Okay.
Pretty much. All right, let's switch gears. Move on to the NBA. The names on the backs of the jerseys, fellas. Social justice names will be allowed to be put on the backs of jerseys. Some teams have already released the roster and the names of players and what they will be putting on the back of their jersey. But some players, like big names, LeBron, won't be putting any social justice statements on the back of his name. He will just have his last name. I believe he said that he wants to be focused on the court and not to be distracted by the name on the back of his jersey. What do we feel or think about that?
I actually, I agree with LeBron. You know, I know I'm a little biased because I'm a LeBron fan, but I get what he's saying. You know, the guy's been speaking out about social injustice for years now. You know, that's pretty much been his career. We can call him the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of this era, as far as that's concerned. So everybody knows what LeBron is about. So he was basically saying, you know, I don't need a name on the back of my jersey. People already know what I'm about. So I get that, you know what I mean? And I respect it. Now, for somebody like Alex Caruso, who came out and said that he's going to wear, you know, Black Lives Matter on the back of his jersey, I feel like that's big, you know what I mean? Not only because he's the GOAT, but, you know, it's just big, you know, seeing other races coming together and giving their 2 cents and showing their support. I feel like it's really big. It's really big, you know. Somebody like LeBron, yeah, he's going to have impact, but it's kind of like LeBron's been doing this for years now. So we need to see these new guys that haven't really spoke out or haven't really protested give their 2 cents now, you know what I mean? So I respect it.
What do you think, Panky?
if there's one player that doesn't have to do that, it's LeBron, because he's like one of the most outspoken guys in the league. The most interesting one is Jimmy Butler's situation. Have you guys heard what he
His statement on not having
what he wants to do?
Nah, go ahead.
So he doesn't want his name or a slogan on his jersey. He just wants the number, basically.
Okay.
And so his quote here that I've pulled up. And I quote, "I've decided not to," Butler said during a Tuesday video call with reporters. "With that being said, I hope that my last name doesn't go on there as well. Just because I love and respect all the messages that the league did choose, but for me, I felt like no message with no name. It's going back to like who I was. And if I wasn't who I was today, I'm no different than anybody else of color and want that to be my message in the sense that just because I'm an NBA player, everybody has the same right, no matter what. That's how I feel about my people of color."
Wow, that is it's very deep and it's very interesting, and I respect it. I definitely respect it.
I think that'd be like a good thing for him. Now the question is, would the league approve of that, just having just a number in the back of that jersey?
I hope so.
I think
Because
go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just the same as if you're gonna let somebody else put something that isn't their name on the back of their jersey. It's the same thing. You're not gonna you'll still know who they are, even though they won't have their name on the back of their jersey. So,
yeah,
if that's what he wants to do, I don't see why they wouldn't allow that, because it's not like he's saying anything controversial. It's quite the opposite. Quite frankly, He's letting his actions do the talking.
Yeah, and he has a pretty good reason to back it up too. Basically saying I'm no better than anybody else, that's a great message. Great message, and so yeah, I think they'll approve it for sure. I don't see any reason why not.
And I think just article released 4 hours ago, Norman Powell stated options for social justice statements were cookie cutter. Do you guys believe that the approved messages or statements were cookie cutters?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure what he meant with that analogy. Is he trying to say that they were very limited, or like what is he trying to say with that?
All right, I pulled up the article on my phone.
I think he means they're generic. I don't remember what the full list of them are, but I feel like they should have just let players pick and choose and let them be approved by teams in the league, basically. Yeah. If you have something that isn't on their list, send it to whomever and they can approve it or not. I don't.
So let me ask you guys something. Is George Floyd one of the names that they approved?
I think it was. I think it might have been Justice for George.
Okay. I was curious because I was skimming through some of them and I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah, there's Black Lives Matter. There's equality, education. What else? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Some of them on here: Black Lives Matter, say their names, vote, I can't breathe, justice, peace, equality, freedom, enough, power to the people, justice now, say her name, si se puede, I can't speak Spanish, yes we can, that's what it means, liberation, see us, hear us, respect us, love us, listen to us, stand up, ally, anti-racist, I am a man, speak up, how many more, group economics, education reform, and mentor.
Now, one thing I feel like what they should have done, I like the whole say their names and say her name, but I feel like they should have actually put their name and gave people an option to put Breonna Taylor on the back of their jersey, or put George Floyd or Ahmaud Arbery. I think that would have been really significant. And I think even LeBron himself would have had to really think about it, I might do this.
Yeah,
that's powerful.
Yeah, I think a player wanted to put Ahmaud Arbery's last name on the back of his jersey just to honor him. And he was hoping for approval from the league, but I haven't heard anything from that.
Because people would have done it already on their shoes and stuff like that already. I don't see what the hesitation was. And you're reading that list, I get where he's coming from with it being like cookie cutter and being a little more on the generic side of things than like letting them actually arrow what they said. Going back to Caruso, there was a tongue-in-cheek response that he gave as part of his reason for Black Lives Matter on the back of jersey. And this is, I didn't realize how funny he can be. So he said, I thought that as a white player in the NBA, I feel like showing the support and voicing that as a figure that a lot of white kids growing up around the country idolize or are fans of whatever you want to call it. I think it's important to show that's the right thing and the message of equality, message and justice. So like I feel like the little joke there, like he knows that everybody calls him like the GOAT and stuff like that. He knows where he is on the social media hierarchy, basically.
He knows his audience.
And listen, Rondo going down was a blessing in disguise. Caruso about to average 40 a game. Just wait on it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So speaking of Rondo going down, who do you think the Lakers will pick up?
Honestly, me personally, as a fan of LeBron, obviously I follow the Lakers. I feel like they should just give Caruso that playing time. Honestly, I don't think they need to pick somebody up. And if they do pick somebody up, I don't think they necessarily need to put the person in the rotation. I feel like they're good. They got Markieff Morris. They got, what's his name?
I read they might put Caldwell Pope in instead of Caruso.
Well, KCP he's pretty solid too. The Lakers, they got options. They got a lot of options. People don't realize how deep they are. Even with the injuries, they're still an extremely deep team. So guys like Markieff Morris are going to see a lot more minutes. Deion Waiters. It's going to balance out a lot better because before those injuries, I remember before COVID, Frank Vogel was trying to figure out how to work some of these guys into their rotation, but I feel like now it's going to be a lot easier because Rondo went down, so you got minutes to allocate now, so.
That's true. Speaking of adding players, 5 days after signing with the Brooklyn Nets, Michael Beasley tests positive and will not travel to Orlando. I thought at first that was a big signing after they signed Jamal Crawford. I thought Beasley and Crawford would have just been a good one too. But who do you guys think the Nets should pick up in place of Michael Beasley? Or should they just save their time and just keep whoever they have on their roster right now?
I don't know if anybody wants to join the Nets at this point.
So that makes that's what, the 5th Nets team or player to test positive?
I want to know how Beasley's contract was structured because, I want to know if he's getting paid for any of these 5 days. For God's sake.
Yeah.
He can still come back, I guess. I don't know what the testing procedure is for it, but the worst of friggin' luck. My God.
I know.
Yeah, and that's kind of how his career has went from the beginning, isn't it?
And speaking of quarantine, Rashawn Holmes being forced to quarantine for going across campus to pick up an Uber Eats pickup.
You couldn't get somebody else to do it? I don't how.
Looking at Instagram Live or Instagram stories of these NBA players giving fans a sneak peek of the bubble, there is a lot of security. You can even ask one of the security guards in a go-kart to go across campus and grab that food for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, going back to the NHL, I was listening to a podcast and they had one of the bigger reporters on it. For the NHL, for both those hotels, they're going to allow food deliveries to the hotels if players don't want anything that's on the room service menu, and it's going to be they're going to be taken to a spot where security or whoever they hire is going to wipe down the packages and then we'll bring them to the players. It's a whole organized system already. So how the NBA didn't allow this or have something cooked up because obviously they didn't spend a lot of time on the catering budget at Disney World, but
oh my God! I think Jay should jump on Uber Uber Eats to go downtown.
I think he should too, because some of the meals look like these motherfuckers doing 25 to life right now. It's not looking good.
And It's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if somebody snitched on him at the snitch line. That would be interesting. Or
All right,
I'm sure somebody saw him with his order and like, where the hell did he get that? To just pull up the phone and just like, all right, someone.
All right, let's touch on that snitch hotline.
I was just about to say.
Yeah. Have you seen? Going by social media and the memes, Chris Paul is public enemy number 1 for the snitch hotline.
I can see that. CP just gives me that snitch vibe. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know what I mean? His little insurance commercials are just like, yeah, bro. Like you just look like, yeah, it's not gonna work. I gotta call the hotline.
Do you think his room looks like a villain's lair with multiple screen monitors and just a dark room?
I saw also. I think Dwight Howard was doing an Instagram thing where he said that he got complained on for not wearing a mask out wherever in the pavilion. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if like people are getting like rookies to just like sacrifice on the team's behalf just to like snitch.
No,
like
man.
LeBron.
I would blame.
LeBron calls Caruso up and be like, "All right, call Houston about James Harden."
You can't even blame Kyrie. He ain't there. I mean, still, I mean, is D'Angelo Russell there?
No.
Because Golden.
You can't even blame.
No, Minnesota. Sorry.
Yeah, he's on Minnesota.
Oh yeah, bruh. I don't know. I mean, Nick Young said it the best. I mean, that's the Tekashi 6ix9ine of the NBA. So. Man.
What do you think about Spencer Dinwiddie's tip on during that interview for players not to call in LA work?
I mean, he broke the snitching rule. Like, no one even like thought about that really until he brought it up, especially using that term.
Yeah, that's dry snitching if I ever heard it. Shit, LA work.
LA work, Jesus.
Yeah, and that's oddly specific too. Like for a guy that plays on Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Whose Instagram story have you guys been following, and whose have been the most entertaining for you?
I would have to say JaVale McGee. Like he this guy literally took his phone on the motherfucking slide with him and recorded the whole shit. I'm just looking like, yo, these motherfuckers is bored. They are bored out of their minds.
So bored. I think he even put up a YouTube video. I was about to watch it before I put this on. He put like I think it was like a 10, 12-minute video of Inside the Bubble with JaVale McGee.
The one that got me was Patrick Beverley talking about all the shirts that he packed.
Oh, yo, that's a mountain. Yo, back in the day, if you had that many white tees, man, you were it.
Also, I think it was PJ Tucker brought like 60 pairs of shoes or something like that.
Yeah.
As the sneaker king.
Yeah,
my whole thing is, where the fuck are you going? Where are you gonna wear them shits to, bro? You gonna wear them shits to get some lunch with the boys? Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
I mean, he's one of those guys that's not afraid to wear like $10,000 shoes on like the court. He always wears his pairs and stuff like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if he wore the Dior ones on the court.
Oh, he's probably going to. Like, he's worn off-whites and stuff like that on the court.
Yeah.
All right.
That's crazy.
So, our rivals. Last week, the reigning, defending, flag over my right shoulder, Toronto Raptors arriving in style with their championship bus and a Black Lives Matter slogan in nice letters on the side of their bus. Do you think now the Raptors are kind of just milking any chance to get that they're the champions? And for them to use just like their buses to have like Black Lives Matter slogan on it?
Yeah. You know, I think the Raptors have been trying to insinuate like, yeah, we're the champs. You know, Marc Gasol losing all that weight, and you know what I mean. It's just like they're trying to show y'all like, yeah, we're here. We don't forget about us. You know what I mean? Which is cool. You know what I mean? I do think they're gonna compete at a high level. I mean, it's gonna be short lived, but I think they're gonna compete at a high level.
I mean, if you want to convince players to come to Toronto, have them all in the same place and just spend the budget, because the Raptors are owned by a multi-billion-dollar company. Like they have money to throw. So even if it didn't have the Black Lives Matter messaging on the side of the bus, the fact that they had their own custom wrapped buses, painted buses that looked so nice with the gold and the black and everything, on top of the fact that they had the Black Lives Matter messaging, where I think it was a couple of guys in the Sixers were like talking about it on Instagram, like, "Oh, did you see what the Raptors did, man? We got to do something like that." Where it's like, we'll actually like treat you guys really well. Like we're a well-run organization. Like might as well do a little bit of unofficial, official tampering to show that like there's benefits to playing for this like team.
So which Raptor's gonna knock on Giannis's door first?
I'm gonna say Pascal.
Yeah, I was gonna say Siakam probably.
His African brethren.
Bro, what's up, bro?
Siakam's gonna come in blasting the new Drake song called "Grease" and just be like, "Yo, this is so good."
So you can get a feature. You can get mentioned in the song. Come to Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Man. And then Serge is gonna be like, "I'm gonna cook you something. I'm gonna have you on how hungry are you?" And then everyone's gonna put him away. Like, "No, shut up! Don't say that. He's not gonna come."
It's gonna be Serge. Pascal's gonna be back, and Giannis. It's gonna have that's gonna be a funny episode if that ever happens.
I would be amazing if they had those guys on there.
Oh my
so let me ask you something real quick. Being the way the season is going right now, they're in a bubble. Things are not the same. Obviously, I think guys are kind of enjoying it, but it's completely different from the way things normally are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is going to have an impact on players' decisions in free agency? Like, do you think they're going to, win, lose, or draw? Do you think guys are going to take this seriously? Like, let's say Giannis gets bounced out, before he gets to the finals. Do you think he's going to take it seriously as I got to leave? Or is he going to look at it like, you know what? This year was abnormal. I'll give it another shot.
I think it depends on how it goes down.
Yeah.
Because like if they get bounced early, I think he's going to be very upset. Or if like a J.R. Smith incident happens again in the conference finals, and it costs them a spot to go to the NBA finals. I think they're taking it seriously because like everybody keeps saying, "Oh, this is going to be the hardest one." Like if there's going to be an asterisk, it's going to be for how hard it was to win this championship, basically, not for it being a shortened season or a pandemic. So, I think so because it's gonna really test what teams are made of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I also think like the way Canada has dealt with the whole COVID situation, I think it'll entice some players to want to come and play in Canada versus like an American team.
I would like to think
Giannis,
but I mean that's gonna in general that's gonna have more impact on all the non-American players basically, which is Giannis. He's not American, so Giannis. But it's interesting listening to the Raptors because like they've been there longer than anybody, right? So they're the most like comfortable with it. Like I was listening to Marc Gasol being interviewed, and like Pascal comes out of nowhere, like crashes the interview and stuff like that because they asked Gasol about like whether or not like how does he keep busy because he's not really a gamer. And then like Pascal comes and he's like, "Well, I'm the best. Tell him I'm the best gamer," and stuff like that. And then Serge Ibaka's in the background just like talking. And Mark's like, "Oh, Serge is going to teach me fashion. That's how I'm spending my time."
Oh, God.
Also, watching the interview, Mark does not want to be asked about how he lost his weight or what he's been doing. He's been very guard up about that and like a bit edgy on that, but which is interesting.
That is very interesting.
He's just like, it's not important. Like, I don't want to talk about it, basically, and just like move on to the next thing.
There's been more body transformations coming out of Raptors camp. You got Slim Duck not being slim anymore. Chris Boucher put on 15 pounds of lean muscle. And there's a picture of Matt Thomas looking more jacked than he was in the beginning of the season. Jesus.
That's the one that doesn't seem necessary because all he does is shoot threes. But you know what? Good for him.
Yeah.
Hey.
So
I don't know. I just like I feel like I don't know. I feel like it may have an effect on free agency. I feel like this is an experience that these players are never gonna forget. You know, just being in this bubble together. I feel like there's a stronger sense of togetherness. So I feel like it's gonna be harder to leave a team after this. You know, just going through this experience, seeing the way this thing is impacting the world is kind of like, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like guys are going to be reluctant to just move on to other teams after this. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Maybe if things go well, but I don't know. I could see also cabin fever sort of take over, where it's like I'm stuck with you for like 2 weeks, and if you piss me off like at the beginning,
Yeah,
like I just have to keep seeing you. I can't just go home and like hit a punching bag or something like that. I got to see you the next day or the next day if like I'm like your next door neighbor or something.
Oh yeah.
And also, if you, on the flip side, if you see how much fun other teams are having in the quarantine bubble,
yes,
like if you
or
see the
even
Raptors
players.
bumping that new Drake,
Yeah. I think like today I saw a couple of players just doing shotgun challenges. Starting with like Myers
Yeah.
Leonard in his hotel room, and then you get JJ Redick in an ice bath doing a shotgun, and then Jordan Clarkson doing a shotgun as well.
the Mavericks were DJing out the window and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys hear Kemba Walker's interview?
No, I haven't.
They're basically talking to him about what it's like being in the bubble, and he was just like, "Yo, guys are so comfortable." He was like, you normally see LeBron walking around with like a group of people. He said he was out the other day and he just saw LeBron just walking casually. It was him. I think it was LeBron, Kuzma, and 2 other people. And he was just like, yo, that's crazy. Like, LeBron probably hasn't been this comfortable since he was 9 years old. So just like, just to see the players just together like that, it's like you're at a resort with your friends or some shit. You guys are like, hey, I'm about to bust your ass today. I mean, like, no, you ain't. You know what I mean? It's just that's gonna be interesting. That's definitely gonna be interesting.
I know Iguodala had a good quote because there was all this. I think it was Rondo that was like complaining about his hotel room and stuff like that. Where Iguodala is like, for most, if not all of us, like we've dealt with much worse situations like growing up or whatever. So like, this is not like a big deal for a lot of people. Like, I mean, I'm sure people are expecting 5-star hotels, but like
yeah, everyone is. Everyone on the Instagram Live is saying how LeBron's room is like a whole building, and no one and no one will tell them where LeBron is staying. I think it was like Austin Rivers was just walking around.
Austin Rivers had me dying with that shit yesterday. You see this building? This whole building is LeBron room. He said, "That nigga not living like us. He ain't living like us.
He ain't living in these small rooms."
LeBron's living like Magic Mountain just by himself.
Oh man, he looked like he on a mountain with
Space
that
Mountain.
There, he need to get some dye for that motherfucker. That shit a little crazy, man.
You can afford it, so.
I mean,
all right. Let's switch it up. Going to the NFL, some big contracts being signed past 2 weeks. Biggest one is Patrick Mahomes, that big ass 10-year half a billion dollar contract. And I think I read from on a CBC article, there's 447 million in guarantees. So what do you do with all that money?
Yeah. Shit.
And to top it all off, that contract doesn't kick in until like for another 2 years.
He's got 12 years of being on contract in Kansas City.
Bro, he could buy 10 Lamborghinis, lose all of them shits, and still not be broke, bro. Like that's fucking ridiculous.
He could probably buy like half of Kansas City right now.
Oh
pretty
my
much.
God. Wow.
And just turn it to Mahomes City.
He can sign more wide receivers or more running backs himself.
Well, they spent money on Chris Jones, so I don't know how the cap situation works, but
Chris Jones is another one, 4-year, $85 million, $60 million in guarantees is what I read.
Mhm.
So Kansas City getting 2 big signings this week. Yeah, apparently it's cap friendly, from what I read. I could be wrong, but it doesn't kick in until 2 years, so they have the next 2 years to sign someone else, I guess.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, the kid is worth it, man. Honestly, I say if this guy doesn't get injured and everything, everything goes well, you got to think this is what his 3rd year as a starter. He won the Super Bowl in his 2nd year, went to the AFC Championship in his 1st year as a starter. I don't know, man. We might not be talking about Brady as the GOAT anymore. I want to say like another 10 years. We might not be talking about Brady as the GOAT. This guy is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Even after was that he had an injury scare, right? Last season, because I had him on fantasy, and I was like, "Fuck!" But he came back perfectly fine, and then marched his way to a Super Bowl. So,
listen, can we all agree like this is the best Super Bowl run that we've ever seen from a quarterback? Not even a team, a quarterback. Like they were down in every game every game. Like
they were down 28-0, and then like not even 10 passes, and they tied the game.
Like you talk about clutch, like that guy is out of his mind, bro. Out of his mind. There's a lot of people like, oh, it's too early to anoint him, and it's just like, bro, like I've never seen anything like that before. I've been watching the NFL for years. We all have,
Yeah.
So
it was insane, and the fact that like he has speedy guys to get downfield so we can throw those bombs easily. It's such a big key.
Yeah.
I know it's a cap friendly deal, but as soon as they make one bad signing, everything throws a wrench into things because they have a lot of money locked up in him. They have a lot of money locked up in Chris Jones. So if they make one bad like big signing, like I don't know, whatever, if they extend Travis Kelce or something like that, or they make a big splash and it goes south, like they could be a wrench thrown into it. But
yeah,
they have a good front office. So I'm not trying to like say it's not going to happen, but like when you invest a lot of money in a quarterback, you have to manage the rest of the cap so well. Otherwise, you're going to be screwed. Otherwise, you're going to be Green Bay.
Learn from the Giants. Please learn from the Giants.
Good old.
Because after Brady retires and Mahomes' deal, no one's taking team-friendly deals at the quarterback position anymore.
Oh, no.
No. Another big signing, Myles Garrett, known for hitting quarterbacks in the head with helmets, gets a 5-year, $125 million extension with $100 million in guarantees. Do you guys think with this new contract extension, he's going to be more behaved and not hit quarterbacks with a helmet anymore?
Listen, I just bought a helmet on Amazon, nigga. I need some of that money too. Shit. I didn't see that happen. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see that happening. I mean, obviously, I know the Browns were gonna back him 100%, but that's kind of like a yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, and we signed him, and we gave him 125 mil. What? He'll hit somebody with a helmet again? What? You know, it's kind of like that. I was just like, oh shit, like I'm about to go buy me a helmet right now. That's crazy. I mean, he's worth the money, though. Don't get it twisted. He's worth the money. He's definitely worth the money.
Yeah, I hope it pays off for them. I really do. But that was the big signing where I scratched my head a little bit. Where I'm like, oh, this can turn into a Cleveland Browns thing, and it backfires horribly. because we're in an era where there's a lot of really good like defensive ends and edge rushers and stuff like that. You can draft a lot of good players and stuff like that, and like it's a very I guess interchangeable. I guess there's no shortage of good there's no shortage of guys you can interchange as like good situational pass rushers. So like he's got to put up staggering numbers and stay healthy and not crack people over the head with their helmets or get caught doing it. But because Cleveland has a lot of guys that could get a lot of money soon as well. Like they got to figure out what they're gonna do with Baker. They're gonna have to pay. their running back at some point as well, and like they have to figure out what they're gonna do with like other key pieces and stuff like that. So
like what to do with Odell.
it should be good,
Jarvis.
but yeah, did a contract? I can't remember.
I think the Giants paid him right before he got traded. So,
Right.
yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not sold on Baker. I feel like something's gonna end up happening there. So they may not have to pay Baker. So I mean,
So Odell, they got like 3 more years of Odell, basically.
That's cool. That's good. Good for them, at least. I mean, I don't give a shit about the Browns, but hey, it's good for them.
Yeah. Another signing, big Derrick Henry, 4-year, $50 million extension with basically half the contract in guarantees. Good move for the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. The guy is. I mean, come on, he literally led them past the Ravens and the Patriots. They're not winning those games. Yeah. They're not winning those games if he doesn't go for crazy numbers.
Nope.
I keep forgetting how tall this guy is. Holy shit.
He's a very large man.
for a running back.
I saw a video the other day on Twitter of his high school highlights. Oh my God, it's embarrassing because like he was like his same height basically in high school, I think. And he's just bowling. Like there was a stat line I saw where like he had like I think 400 yards in a game or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, he as a high school kid and you're that tall and that size, you're just ramming through kids.
Oh yeah, especially somebody that's played high school football. Tackling is not exactly an art, So I know he was having a blast.
Mm-hmm.
His stiff arm rating might have been 99.
The only thing about his contract is that any other running back that's a free agent next year, that is a bit of a blow to whatever dollar figure they have in mind, because like the number seems to keep going down for how top quality running backs are getting paid.
I feel like running backs are so disrespected, man. It's just ridiculous. Like you're gonna pay somebody like Derrick Henry $50 million for 4 years. That's a slap in the face, And I mean, I get it. Running backs have the shortest lifespan in the NFL, but come on, man. Like, look at what he's done last year. You got to pay that man something more than that.
Because I saw a post about what like the upcoming NFL like running back free agency. And like, there's a lot of guys that are going to be on the market or will be on the market. Like, I know Alvin Kamara needs a new deal. It's like one of the bigger ones. Let me see. Okay, this is pulling up right now. Okay, so the running back class of 2021: Todd Gurley, Dalvin Cook, Kamara, Joe Mixon, Kareem Hunt, Aaron Jones, Leonard Fournette, Marlon Mack, Kenyon Drake, and Phillip Lindsay.
Wow. Ooh. That's a big
lot of
running back
notable
class.
That is a big free agency class, assuming none of them re-sign.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
And if 50 million is what a Derrick Henry gets, and like Zeke is getting what 70, I think,
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And after what happened with like Melvin Gordon and stuff like that, it's such a I think the 50 million Derrick Henry number is more realistic than the Ezekiel Elliott number because the Cowboys are insane. So that's just
pretty much,
man.
Also, I think Zeke is better than Derrick Henry, but I mean, Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones. He overpays everybody,
Except Dak Prescott so far.
I don't think so. I think he's overpaying Dak. I don't think Dak is worth that money, bro. I really don't. I wouldn't get that motherfucker 35 million a year. I wouldn't. But I mean, that's just me. But
well, he's getting the franchise tag, so that's 30 million, whatever it is, regardless. But like whatever he's gonna sign afterwards, that's a whole other thing.
I think he leaves, but that's a topic for another day. Yeah,
you're gonna bring Tony Romo back.
Oh God, Jesus! Tony Romo's up in the commentary booth at a Cowboys game. Hey, Tony, we got your pads ready.
He's doing commentary mid game. Like under center.
It's like, all right, Tony, tell us what you see. All right, I see blitz.
The defense is going to do this. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to do this and then sack.
That guy's having the time of his life with that commentary. He going nowhere.
Man has a crystal ball in front of him. He's like, look at the defense. But yeah. Do you think Falcons will re-sign Todd Gurley?
All depends on what happens this year. I mean, I feel like Todd Gurley's gonna kind of have that Cam Newton factor. I know you guys have seen the Cam Newton interview. Cam is like super motivated right now. Like he's ready to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like Todd Gurley's gonna have that same chip on his shoulder, you know. So I'm predicting a big year. And I think they will resign him.
Yeah,
I think he will resign because is he from Atlanta or like Georgia? No, he's from Maryland. Okay, but like he played college in Georgia and stuff like that, so there's some familiarity there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the table talk with Victor Cruz, Odell, Todd Gurley, and Cam Newton, he called Atlanta his Black Hollywood. So he's going to be very comfortable in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
And then speaking of that table talk, there was a lot of discussion there. I think the main point was the global event like Black Lives Matter, how they're teaching their kids about what's going on in the world. I didn't know Cam Newton had 7 kids.
I didn't know he had that many either.
I'll tell you one, as somebody that lives in Georgia, that shit is like a common theme out here, and that's where he's from. So I get.
As soon as I said Victor Cruz was like, "You got 7 kids, right?" And then he's a head nod. I'm like, "Hold the phone. What is happening here? You have 7 kids?" God damn.
Because I've only heard him talk about like the one son that he has. I can't remember his name, but like I've never. Yeah, I had no idea.
It's me, but Cam is very driven this year. Same with Todd Gurley. I think who was he talking to? He's talking to was he talking to Belichick, Panky, about the schedule? Or he's talking to somebody about the schedule, but
I think it was more. I don't think it was with Belichick. I think it was just like to his like agent and stuff like that. I think.
Yeah.
Or he was looking towards like when he signed, like he was looking towards like who they're playing and stuff like that, and like this team passed on me, this team didn't want me, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't. If that was with Belichick, I'm glad he didn't mention Belichick. I'm sure Belichick wouldn't be too fond of that being attached to that sound bite. But yeah, I've everything I've seen Cam do has been very promising on social media. Like the photo he posted when he was doing the playbook stuff, and he was like, "This shit's calculus," and like tagged Julian Edelman in it. And just the fact that like, yeah, I mean I didn't watch a lot of Panthers like football regularly, but like I think this is the most focused I've seen him. I think. Yeah. And when he was talking about like all the teams didn't give him enough respect, I feel like he didn't exclude New England on that as part of that also, even though they did sign him.
Yeah.
Because he's only getting paid up to $7 million. Speaking of contracts in the NFL, but it was also interesting that he himself talked about the elephant in the room about replacing Tom Brady.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
And it was just like, he's great. He's done whatever he's done. He's done what he's done. But like, there's going to be stuff that Josh is going to call that they couldn't call with Tom.
Basically.
And you can say that also on the flip side, there's stuff they called with Tom they're not going to be able to call with Cam. But I like where he's coming from, where he's like, he's not afraid of the challenge of replacing Tom Brady. He's motivated as all heck. And he's not doing it in a way to disrespect the person he's replacing, basically. He's like, Tom's Tom. He did his thing. I'm Cam. I'm going to do my thing, and we're going to do stuff that they weren't able to do before.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun season to watch, especially just like when football comes around, all sports are going to be running at the same time, so it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is just me with rose-tinted glasses, just, being excited that Cam is in New England, but like I actually liked the hat he was wearing in that Odell conversation. I was like, that's something where I don't immediately hate that he's wearing.
I know his entire
Like-
ensemble just leaning back in the chair,
With a
smoking
cigar in his hand.
a fat cigar. It was a good interview.
That was good, very good interview.
I also read that he's gone out of his way to get N'Keal Harry involved in workouts and stuff like that, because he's going to be a huge part of New England's puzzle there. Because he's the closest thing they have to a deep threat, basically. Because Sanu and Edelman are not those kind of receivers. So
it's good that Cam has already done reps with Sanu, getting young N'Keal Harry involved, and then obviously he's gonna gel with Edelman. So it's gonna be fun to watch.
I probably should save this when we have a bigger panel, but I think Cam's gonna re-sign in New England.
I think so too. I think so too. I think it's fair to say that.
But I don't mean like franchise tag. I mean like it's gonna be 2 or more years contract.
Yeah,
that's my.
Yeah,
especially if he plays like he's talking right now. Hell yeah.
Yeah, just right now he's on a Scottie Pippen type of contract.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, keep moving with football. Madden, fellas. Madden has been releasing the top players for categories. Today they released the CBs. I think Defensive Player of the Year Gilmore should have gotten the 99 ahead of Sherman.
That was for play awareness, though.
Yeah, that's just for our play recognition.
Gilly's part of the 99 club.
Oh, okay. Nice. So, what do you think about the other rankings that they released so far? So, for QBs, I'll go top to 1 to 3. Number 1, Mahomes at 99. Russ Wilson at 97, and Lamar Jackson at 94. Do you think? I think
they got the QBs right. The top 3 they got right. I will say that Aaron Rodgers, I feel like he should have got at least a 90, 91. You know, I feel like the 89 is a little too harsh. You know, he's still. I mean, obviously he's not, you know, Aaron Rodgers of 4 or 5 years ago, but he's still A-Rod, you know, so a 90, 91 would have been suffice, you know.
Basically. I feel like they should have gave Lamar Jackson maybe a rating or 2 higher for what he's done this season. But 94 is respectable for him.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady at 90 is pretty high, and that's coming from a Pats fan.
I saw that. I was like, huh?
That's generous. That's forget last year ever happened rating.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about his rating last year, he did drop like 6 or 7 points. So I mean,
but to have Brady as the 5th highest ranked quarterback in the game,
bro, this guy is, you know, they don't. It's like LeBron. LeBron is what 35, 36. He's still a freaking 97 in 2K. Like they don't want to let these old guys go, man. They just.
Drew
just want to, you know.
Yeah, but LeBron's last year compared to Brady's last year is a bit different.
Nah, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right.
And then for running backs, Run CMC is a no-brainer to be 99 for this year. Derrick Henry at 93 and Zeke at 92.
I'm appalled. I'm appalled. Okay, appalled. Listen, I love CMC. I don't think he's a 99. I'm sorry. Like, running backs, that's a whole different ball game. Like, you know, I feel like running backs and receivers, those are the 2 most skilled positions, obviously. I feel like there has to be a lot more done to get to 99. Like, don't get me wrong, CMC, see the thing with him, he's a dual threat, you know. He catches out of the backfield and he can run. And, okay, even if you do want to give him the 99, why is there no running back within 6 or 7 points of that? That is so disrespectful. I feel like CMC is the best running back in the league because of the dual threat. I feel like from there you got Saquon, you got Zeke, you got Derrick Henry, you know what I mean? You got Nick Chubb, you got all of these guys but to give Saquon a 91, to give Zeke a 92, you know, like Zeke and Saquon should at least be like a 95, 96. At least. Derrick Henry should be right up there with them. I feel like the drop-off is like completely disrespectful. And I understand why Zeke was mad and why he said what he said, because it's ridiculous.
It's such a big gap between 99 and 92 compared to sorry, I was saying it was such a big gap between 99 and 92 compared to like the quarterbacks, where you got Mahomes at 99 and then 2 ratings lower you got Russ Wilson.
Yeah, that's a lot more realistic and a lot more respectable, I'm pretty sure all the other running backs are probably mad. Some of them probably laughed it off. Zeke is the only one who spoke his mind, but I know all of them are probably looking at it like, that motherfucker not better than me. I mean, he probably catch the ball better than me, but he don't run the rock better than me. So they're looking like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, I do a lot of research for this. I haven't owned a Madden game in God knows how long. Because the game itself is not, I don't know, I just don't think it's a good game. Like NCAA was like the better football game, and that's the hill I'll fight on whenever people talk about that. But yeah, you either you raise everybody up so they're closer to McCaffrey, or you bump McCaffrey down so he's closer to the rest of the pack. Either way.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Definitely with you there.
Now the other two kind of main categories for offense, wide receivers and tight ends have yet to be released. Fellas, who do we think is going to be the top wide receiver, and who do we think is going to be the top tight end for this year's Madden game?
I think Hopkins is going to reign supreme as the top wide receiver. It's respectable. Mm-hmm. Julio Jones is probably going to come in at a close second. Tight ends, that's a tricky one. I want to say they're going to give it to Kittle, but Travis Kelce did win the championship, so they might swap them.
Yeah,
just swap them.
I think Kelce's going to get it.
Yeah, for Kelce and Kittle, do you think they're just going to be 99 and 98, respectively?
Probably.
I think they're going to be close. I don't think either of them is going to be 99. I think it'll be like a 97, 96 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the 99 club so far has been very small.
Tight ends is kind of harder to get a 99. The only tight end that they really just gave a 99 to, I mean, he deserved it, was Gronk. And, no disrespect to Kelce or Kittle, but they're not on Gronk's level yet. I'm sorry.
Did they ever give Tony G a 99?
Back in his heyday, I think he did have a 99.
I think for receiver, they're going to go Julio.
Think so?
I think so. I think it's either going to be Julio or Michael Thomas because of Michael Thomas's numbers last year.
Yeah,
that's. I think Hopkins goes third at the highest.
Wow.
Because I think Julio gets the respect factor, and I think Thomas gets the boost because of the numbers he put up last year.
That's cool. I mean, listen, I think Julio's the better. I think he's the best receiver in the game, but I just feel like they always find a way to disrespect him in Madden. I'm hoping it's not this. I hope you're right. Don't get me wrong. I hope you're right, but I don't know. Madden has always felt like disrespecting Julio for some reason. So.
All right, and last one. Who do you guys think is going to be the top-rated team on Madden?
That's a good one. Definitely going to be between the Ravens and the Chiefs, but I do think they're probably going to give the Chiefs. I can't really say that because defense, offense, special teams, they kind of, break it up into those categories and then go from there. So in that aspect, I think it's going to be the Ravens.
Makes sense. Thanks.
I think it's Kansas City. I think it is.
Yeah, just because of the Super Bowl factor.
I think so. I'm trying to think like who else would be it. Baltimore would be up there.
San Fran, definitely.
San Fran, I think so. Maybe San Fran. No, because like offensively, they don't have any. Like aside from Kittle, they don't really have.
They just have
high-rated guys.
They just have running backs.
And they lost most third, so I mean that's gonna hurt them.
Oh, a big one.
Who's also one of the fastest running backs in the game I just saw. I don't know who has a talented roster that would be like that high. I don't know.
The Saints will be up there.
Saints will be up there. I'm sure Dallas is going to get a friggin' boost somehow.
Yeah, they'll definitely be up there. I hate them, but they'll be up there.
Maybe Seattle? No, not Seattle.
They're not far.
Just hover around 90.
You know what? I think Tampa Bay is going to be a freaking steroid team just because of like the offense.
That's my Madden team. I already called it. I know you don't play Madden, but if you play Madden, I'll let them know already. Like when that shit drops, Tampa Bay, I don't want to hear shit.
Just all vertical routes, up vertical routes. That's it.
Oh yeah, all day long.
Mike Evans and then just Gronk just downfield.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they rate Gronk. That's gonna be fascinating.
Oh man, whew, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it will. But we'll see in the next coming days the wide receivers and the tight ends, and then the rest of the ratings will get released. Let's touch on one more subject here. Woj being suspended by ESPN.
Free Woj.
Free Woj for the best email response ever.
Woj was a G, bro. Like
I did not think he had it in him to do that.
Bro,
No.
I don't know if he was enjoying an alcoholic beverage and just took one sip and he's like, you know what, F it, and just send, or like I don't know what prompted him to do that, but damn.
I think Woj was protesting and he came in the house and was like, you know what, I'm gonna send this shit right now.
Could be. But I think with even like all athletes from every like sport, like basketball, football, they're saying free Woj. I think Woj will come back to ESPN sooner than we think.
Oh yeah.
If he wasn't a big enough insider already, like he's gonna come back stronger than ever because all the players have his back now, and like no one's gonna talk to Shams.
Nope.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's one of those things where ESPN needs him more than he needs ESPN.
Yeah.
Like if Woj was like, I'm starting my own thing, it's going to be the number one basketball source for news.
Oh, easily.
Number one basketball, number one NFL.
Easily. Him and Shefty.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, fellas. So, we had some good talks about also 4 different sports, and just sports in general is coming back. It's getting more and more exciting. Can't wait for sports to come back. Any final thoughts on anything that we talked about today, fellas?
I see you took was that a Raptors hat you had on?
Yes, sir. It was getting dark.
You took it off, huh? You started getting a little nervous once I said it's gonna be short lived.
No, it was all for the lighting. It was raining here, so I wanted the light to, not block
see
my
what
face.
had happened was it had rained, and then
see what happened. See, it's now brighter outside. I don't know how bright it is where Panky is, where he's like less than 5 kilometers away from me.
Yeah, talk about. Yeah, I'm still bitter about that power outage that I had that you somehow didn't have friggin' like 5 minutes away from me. Damn it.
Hey, that's Eglinton for you.
Yeah, apparently. What am I looking forward to? I'll say it right now. I'm welcoming aboard anybody who's going to be tuning into hockey for the first time when the playoffs start in August. Because God knows we need a bigger and more diverse fan base. So welcome aboard.
Pretty much.
As long as you don't cheer for the Boston Bruins, then I'll be okay with it. That's my only caveat.
Yeah, we'll be okay with it. Just, let's go.
There it is.
There you go. Let's get it.
Burn it down.
Nah. we good over here. We love Matthews.
You better watch it, Figs. The immigration service is going to be watching for that application.
Oh, shit. You're right.
Yeah.
Damn.
We'll ship you a Matthews or Tavares jersey.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, whichever.
Actually, let's send them the Tavares jersey because he's a former New York player.
That's true. On the other New York team.
Yeah, that works. We can do that. One thing I got to say is, July 30th can't come fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
So close yet so far,
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is like, I was at the game where, the season got shut down, and I'm like so anxious to see it. I was supposed to go see LeBron play this year. I was at a game against the Hornets, which was I think 2 weeks later. I was about to buy my ticket. I was psyched, and then this. So if that motherfucker retires and I don't get to see him, I'm gonna be livid, bro. Nigga, I'm gonna have to go to the bubble myself. I'm about to go to the bubble right now.
You're part of the small world ride.
I know, right? Shit.
No, fuck that ride. No, that ride drove me insane. I'm like, nah. They try to blend it with different languages. I don't know what y'all are saying. What is this nonsense?
Oh man.
Anyways, for us here. Oh, go ahead, thank you.
What was it? Raptors Lakers on the 30th or the 31st of August, and then and the Leafs game starts right after the day after or whatever. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be exciting. Sports are back. For the three of us here at Ignorant Sports Talk, it's been your boy Phil, Figs, and Panky. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Cheers, boys.